$282 billion and still growing. That is the value of the video game market. More than $30 million raised for charity, thanks to streams and YouTube events. And esports bringing hundreds of millions of fans in front of their screens and in the stadiums. Why did gaming evolve from a niche to a mainstream powerhouse? How did we get to this?
Less than a year ago, the American Psychological Association made a definitive statement. There is a clear, unequivocal link between violent video games, violent behavior.
And I'm laughing because I can't think of anything less interesting, but I'm totally in the minority.
Especially in the arcade parlors, that they're occupying too much of the kids' time, taking their lunch money.
Are video games really more than just a pastime? I think it's worth exploring why gaming resonates so deeply with so many of us. I want to try showing some of the reasons people play video games and what makes gaming so meaningful. As humans, we have fundamental needs, and video games meet a lot of those, like social interaction, stress relief, and even emotional catharsis, just like books or theatre. And games go even a step further, with one powerful, unique tool: interactivity. We're not just watching a story, we are making our own. Even some of my own family members, after years of watching me and my dad play, they still don't fully understand why we do it. So here is why we play.
This is it! Drop 'em, keep it simple, there it is! Goichi, your Dragon Ball FighterZ 2019 EVO champion!
Yes! 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 Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
C'est parti! 10 millions d'euros! Allez les gars! On l'a fait les gars! Vous êtes des boss!
It spans the globe like a superhighway. It is called Internet.
Let's start with a big reason people play games, especially since the internet took off in the early 2000s: social interaction. Back in the late 90s, we didn't have social media. It was harder to find people who shared your interests outside of, work life. But since the 70s, video games have been a social glue in arcades, much like pool or poker. As consoles, PCs, and the internet became more common, arcades started to fade away, but the sense of community they fostered never disappeared. It evolved. Online games took that sense of connection to a new level. And I'm not here to give you a full history lesson, but the release of games like World of Warcraft, EverQuest, or Asheron's Call changed everything. When World of Warcraft launched in 2004, it created a cultural shift. Within weeks, the game hit a peak of 250,000 players online at the same time. Back in Vanilla WoW, we didn't have quest guides built into the game. You had to rely on luck or get friends with strangers for help. We'd meet every Friday night on Epic Red, and we created our own way of talking and our own references and private jokes inside of the community. It was like a brotherhood. Making friends is just one side of gaming's social power. Video games create shared experiences that can bring us closer to the people we care about. An Oxford study of 7,500 players found that gaming boosts well-being, not from screen time alone, but through social connections. Players who felt real connections in game reported a significant positive impact on their mental health. And it's also an amazing way for family to bond. Take Minecraft for example. Picture a parent and a child teaming up to build a whole world together, sharing ideas, solving problems, and creating something uniquely theirs. In a game like this, kids often get to teach their parents a thing or two, flipping the usual roles and giving them a sense of pride. But it's not just about meeting people. It's about how games makes us feel. Have you had a tough day and just wanted a break from it all? For many, gaming becomes that safe place. From personal experience, having the possibility to forget some health issues, even for seconds, was found inside of video games as much as in books, movies, or my relatives. The real power of stories is making you understand and learn from mistakes you didn't have to make yourself. To bring you to a place where your mood will be turned into a art form that resonates in a unique way for each player. I really recommend you watch Ibelin, the last Netflix documentary that works as a perfect example of this, showing the true power of companionship this game can create and how life-saving they can be in a century where we are all finally acknowledging mental health. Imagine a young man, isolated and facing the weight of an illness that traps him in solitude. A young man is Ibelin. With his real-world freedom stripped away, he finds his way into World of Warcraft, a digital escape that would become his lifeline. In this vast online world, he finds way more than adventure. He finds friendship, purpose, and a family. Through epic quests and late-night raids, Ibelin builds bonds that transcend the game. WoW becomes more than pixels on a screen. It's his connection to the world, it's a place of belonging. And it's his anchor through the darkest time of his life. And you can find so many testimonies on the internet of people whose life have been saved by the medium. Or stories of people who literally saved lives because of the medium. Like the kid who saved his sister from a bear because of the knowledge he had of World of Warcraft. Gaming isn't just about sitting in front of a screen. It's about being part of something huge. For many, gaming is way more than just a way to pass time. It's a place to belong and a place to celebrate together, no matter where we are. The expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. I mean, that is a pretty accurate definition of video games. The style of games like Journey, Cuphead, or Alchemy are a great visual example of the artistic side of video games, but you don't have to make a game look artistic in order for it to be art. From the very beginning, the only reason for a game to exist is to create emotions in the player through different techniques, game design, narrative design, and so on. And over the past few years, video games have started inspiring Hollywood just as much as movies inspired games in the past. Epic TV shows like The Witcher, The Last of Us, Arcane, Fallout, or Cyberpunk Edge Runners leading the way. And this evolution started years ago. Movies like Oldboy or Scott Pilgrim vs. the World are a great example of how video games started inspiring cinema. But I'll probably make a video out of this subject one day.
Seb, you stepped up, you took the bullet, you did the substitution yet again, and another huge win. Anything to say for your boys here? Anything to say for the folks at home?
I mean...
This is Sebastian Debs, known as Seb or Seven Fucking Mad. After years of trying to find success in an esport career on the game Dota 2, while managing his studies and the doubt and fear of his relatives, Seb was starting to doubt his future in the sport and in winning the International. The International is a prestige esport tournament with one of the biggest cash prizes in the industry, only filled with the best players in the world. Then Seb managed to get into the International finals with his teammates, and they were not among those that anyone suspected to be a threat. But they won. Twice. Back to back. For these guys, Nivsky and Rotvada, who gave thousands of tries and years trying to finish Super Mario Bros. As fast as possible, or Dark Souls 2 without ever being touched by an enemy. A category of gamers that want to finish games as fast or perfectly as humanly possible, just like Kip Choge with Marathon. Pushing the limits of the human abilities with frame-perfect actions that require almost non-human reflexes and hand-to-eye coordination, just like a F1 driver. Nevsky managed in 2021 to finish Super Mario Bros. Only 22 frames, or 0.3 seconds, behind the perfect run made by a computer. And Odzvado managed after a month of failure to be the first human to beat Dark Souls 2, a game known for its difficulty, without ever being touched.
It's ours now!
Look at their reactions and tell me it does not make you think of athletes' inhuman successes in sports. So, to answer my question, no, I don't think anyone playing is wasting their time. Quite the opposite. We've created a space beyond borders, disabilities and appearances, for better and sometimes for worse, of course. Anyway, thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.